842 on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. It's always a pleasure to have Dr. Sandhu in from All Creatures Veterinary Center. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Now, I have a personal testimony for All Creatures because my dog, for the last few weeks, he hadn't been himself. He's going to be 11 next month. He's a beagle, and occasionally they kind of tweak their backs a little bit. They're very, very active dogs. They have longer backs, but he wasn't getting better. And so we took him to All Creatures, and he had a little bit of it's a herniated disc, but it's a little bit slightly degenerative. But they took care of him. They kept him overnight, and it took him a few days to kind of get back into the swing. But yesterday he was really starting to pick back up. So I really, really appreciate what you and your staff had done for my buddy, my four-legged son. So thank you very much.
I'm glad it's going good.
And and the thing is, he usually doesn't like going into the vet. And even though he wasn't feeling when we brought him in, he wanted to go upstairs and all this other good stuff. So it's one of those really comfortable, inviting environments. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for being here as well. And so we want to talk not only about the All Creatures down there in Newhall on Lyons Avenue, but you also have a Canyon Country facility, correct?
Yeah, I do have a Canyon Country Vet Hospital. It's by Edward Movie Theater.
Edwards Movie Theater, right down the street from the radio station here on Soledad Canyon, correct?
Yeah, on Soledad Canyon.
So not only you don't always have to go all the way to Newhall for your treatment. Now, is this a 24-hour center or?
No, it's a day practice. It's open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay, well that's perfect though, because a lot of people from this area.
They commute.
And this is the thing is especially when your dog's not feeling well and you want to be as close as possible. That's the one thing about All Creatures is it's about a mile from where we live. It's very, very quick. So not only that, like to even go check on them and things like that, it was a really easy thing, and the fact that you were open. But you were talking, Buddy's being treated with a variety of like prednisone, and there's some other anti-inflammatories and things like that, and he's doing really good. But you were talking, when you were here 2 weeks ago, we talked about stem cell, the regenerative medicine, that you had to actually perform those operations on the two dogs, and they were doing really, really well. And this is something that down the road, or with my dog or any other dog that may have this, because it wasn't just where he tweaked his back, it's actually degenerative due to his age, and dogs have beagles, they have longer backs. And is this something that might be considered, I might want to consider down the road as far as stem cell?
Absolutely. It's one of the big benefit of doing stem cell on these type of cases where the dogs, they have a long backs and they can have degenerative changes in the disc. Actually, we inject a stem cell right by the spinal area, so we just do close to the disc, so when cells goes inside there and they help the disc to regenerate in there, and it's very, very beneficial. And they do have a studies that the one we are dealing with, the company, they did a lot of studies on it, and they showed us some of those results, especially in spinal cases. It helps a lot.
And that's something that you consider, because it's not like a long drawn out surgery or anything, correct? It's
just a simple. 1 day procedure. You drop off in the morning, we harvest cell, we process in house. So in 3 hours, we process those cells and get the stem cells out and then inject back into the body.
And that's pretty amazing. And then by the afternoon, be able to
by the evening, they're ready to go home.
Because that's the thing. I mean, Buddy was overnight. I knew he was being taken care of, but you leave your babies overnight, and you're kind of like, and then so to be able to know. And also, from what I heard, the two dogs that you had performed this procedure on before, the one that had seriously arthritic, and the other had
they both are doing good
and doing well. And it's not a necessarily instant healing process, but still over time they actually really do.
You see a progressive improvement day by day and week by week, and you can tell the difference the first day you started it, and after 3-4 months later they are totally different dogs.
Outstanding. I'm talking with Dr. Sandhu from All Creatures Veterinary Veterinary Center. We'll be right back with more after this. We got to take care of some traffic. We'll be right back with Dr. Sandhu after this. 8:49. I'm talking with Dr. Sandhu from All Creatures Veterinary Center, and we're going into an Ask the Doc segment as we have Kyle Goldman in the studio. And Kyle had a question about you have a product that you were using to try and prevent shedding for your dog.
Prevent shedding for my dog,
and
yeah.
it seems to be doing the opposite.
Yes. We stopped giving it to him because he just started shedding more. And that didn't seem like it was right.
Okay. For how long he's been shedding?
Well, I mean, he sheds a lot since we got him.
Okay. You told me it's a 5-year-old golden
Yeah.
retriever. These dogs can have some of the other issues too that can also relate to the shedding in dogs. One of them is low thyroid hormone. When they are low thyroid hormones, and because of that, some of the dogs they gain weight and then they start shedding and they have can have a lot of skin issues. Other problem that could be the food also,
Mhm.
because food is one of the main reason in dogs having a skin issues, and that can also contribute to shedding. The medicine I think you're using as a supplement must be omega-3 fatty acids, which
Mhm.
does help with that. And what I like to do is I would like to do a checkup on your pet and see what's going on. And as through this, whosoever come to us through this radio station, we would be happy to give them a free office exam.
Just
That
mention KHTS,
Yeah, they
something
just
like that.
mentioned that KHTS, and then we will be happy to anybody who brings their pets to us, and we'll do a free exams and do consultations and go from there. And I would be happy to help you on this thing.
Cool. Thank you so much.
And what's your dog's name?
Cadet.
So you bring
Cadet.
Cadet down to All Creatures and
Yeah.
Or you
set
can
Dr.
bring
Sandhu.
to Canyon Country.
Oh, that's right, the one right down the street there on Soledad. We'll hook that up.
Yeah, I'll make sure I do that.
We'll take care of it.
Outstanding. Really quickly, I want to talk. 'Cause we've been talking about older dogs and things like that. Let's talk about puppies and whether or not you get one from the animal shelter or from a breeder. What is the best recommendation when you first bring a puppy home? Should they take them to you to have a checkup, or
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Start with, bring your puppy to a vet so we can do a physical exam, make sure there's no congenital defect or they can bond with some of the issues which we can address in early stage. These days, medicine is so advanced, we can diagnose a lot of problems if they do have it. Second thing is puppies, they always need a proper vaccine so that it won't have disease, especially parvo. It's one of the biggest issue we deal with. And second thing is parasites, like in GI parasites, if they have any roundworms, tapeworms, hookworms, and they do have zoonotic importance too, because people, especially the kids, can have it, the parasites from them. And then we always like to talk about the food for them and make a protocol for their vaccine so they won't have any issue. Preventive medicine is getting really good advanced these days, and you can eliminate a lot of problems in future by taking care of the proper feeding and proper vaccination, deworming in early stage.
and that's good too. Also to get your puppy used to coming to the vet. They get
Yeah,
used to
they get
the
used
people
to it.
around there, and so because I had a German Shepherd that actually rescued from the animal shelter when he was 5 years
Mhm.
old, and as he got older, they actually had to sedate him to do anything. So that's the thing. I didn't have him as a puppy. That's why like Buddy is such a good guy. He just walks in. All right, let's just get this over with. And that's very important. And also to just set up, like you said, health guidelines and things
Yeah.
like that, and also proper maintenance and things you do when you get home, especially when they're kids or things like that too. So that's absolutely great. I think one other thing. So we got puppies covered, we got older dogs covered, and just general health. How often should people bring their pets in for a checkup or routine?
Normally, it's healthy pets once a year is good, but these days we more recommend every 6 months. So that way we can just keep on making a record for them, and we have a nice graph about their health, if they're gaining weight, losing weight, if anything going, especially dogs 5 year plus or cats 5 year plus, they should have an exam every 6 months, which is going to be very beneficial for them.
Well, especially because that's when they start having joint issues, or even like with cats or other issues like liver and
Yeah,
things that
that's
come
where
up.
we find those problems, and we do have a special package for seniors. We call after 5 years, we do the X-rays, blood work, fecal urinalysis, and it's very discounted, almost 50% discounted price, so we can figure those things out. If something is happening, and then you don't need to put them on medications. There are a lot of different type of foods, or you can add some supplements and take some things out from their diet, so it helps.
And the nice thing too about what we experienced at your at All Creatures when we brought Buddy in is that you have financing options available and things like that. So there should be no reason to have to walk away if your pet needs that kind of attention.
Yeah, it's a really good question, actually. These days, there are a couple of insurance companies. If you have insurance, they do just like now as for the human medical prospect. You don't need to pay the bills. Now we start billing the companies directly, and they just reimburse to the vets. It was not like that before. So there are two companies they started doing 3 4 months ago, and we people love it because they can come anytime they want to come, and we have a right, we can do a lot of things which before people had some financial issues, and then we bill to the insurance company and they reimburse, and they are very affordable plans too. It's not like very expensive plan to deal with. Second thing is we do in-house financing too. For example, we all know that if there's any situation, you're not prepared for that much money sitting in a bank. So we like to help people in community, and we all grow together.
And that worked out really well for us. Dr. Sandhu, I want to thank you again for coming out, and thank you also for taking care of Buddy. We'll be back for more and bringing the boys down there because we also have Otis, our other beagle, who's going to be 8 this year. So thank you so much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday. And this is Dr. Sandhu from All Creatures Veterinary Center, which is located on Newhall, and you have your other location where the Edwards Theater is. And what is that one called?
Canyon Country Veterinary Center.
Canyon Country Veterinary Center on Soledad Canyon, right there at the Edwards Center. Thank you so much for coming out. All right, time is 8:56. We'll be back with traffic after this.